Asad Aleem, ADB's energy specialist based in Kabul since 2009. In my brief presentation, I will talk about ADB's assistance program in Afghanistan, what ADB is doing, what are our future programs, and most importantly, what are the business opportunities coming up for contractors and consultants. Okay, ADB is focused in 3 sectors in Afghanistan. That's energy. In energy, we are focused in power and gas sector. In transport, we are focused on rails, regional airports, and ring road. Ring road is our prime intervention, but we are also working on the national roads and tertiary roads. In water sector, we are active in agriculture, rural development, and agribusiness development. To date, ADB has provided close to $3 billion. About 90% is grant assistance. We are the 4th largest development partner, and we are the largest development partner on budget, biggest in projects. Our program is fully aligned with the NPPs, with the NDS, and 100% on budget. Yesterday there was a discussion on a Silk Road initiative. I'm pleased to note that ADB is financing close to about 40% of the projects, I think there are 30 projects included in the Silk Road initiative. And after that, about 18 projects are being funded by ADB. Okay, for contractors and consultants, all projects are open for international competitive bidding. So the procurement process is fully transparent, and there is no single source selection, no preference for any particular region, any particular country. And the contractors and the consultants have to be member of ADB. Member countries, there are 68 member countries of ADB. Local firms, we encourage local firms to form joint ventures, partnerships, or maybe become as tier 2 contractors. Now the contracts which ADB advertises, the average size of the contract is about $50 million. We have gone as high as about $450 million for the ring road contract, and smaller ones maybe 25 to 30 million. But the average size is about $50 million. So sometimes it becomes difficult for the local Afghan firms to basically compete. So that's why we are more encouraging in the sense that a joint venture should be framed, and ADB assists the local firms in forming joint ventures or in some sort of matchmaking with international firms. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, the work has to be done by the Afghan firms, by the Afghan contractors and consultants. Bidding process is fully transparent, and all the progress, all the steps in the procurement are fully reflected on our website. Payments to contractors and consultants are directly made by ADB. Although we work through the core budget of the government, but the payments are directly, the approval is made by the government, but the contractors and consultants are paid directly by ADB. Okay, in the energy sector, to date we have committed about $700 million in various transmission lines, distribution systems, substations. ADB is particularly focused in regional projects. So our flagship projects include import of power from Uzbekistan, from Tajikistan. Now we are working transmission lines from Turkmenistan. In addition, we have worked in the Kabul distribution systems in the north, Jalalabad, east. We have future programs. Another $500 million worth of our energy facility will be approved next year in 2013, which will focus primarily in the south. The transport sector, to date we have approved about $2 billion, close to $2 billion. That has mainly focused on the ring road, national road, regional airports, railways. The flagship project obviously is, we have done about 40% of the ring road. The upper semicircle of the ring road is mainly done by ADB. And then the first rail, that has also been financed by ADB. The natural resource is mainly upstream water sector, rehabilitation, infrastructure, agriculture, rural development. This map depicts the projects next 4 to 5 years. The blue lines indicate the future projects which would be advertised within this year, around 2013, mainly the transmission lines. A number of substations and a number of distribution networks would also accompany these transmission lines. Now the opportunities would be coming in the power sector: consulting for project design, implementation, supervision contracts. The main work will be contracting. The bulk, about 80% of all funding that goes to contracting. So the work which has to be done, the actual physical infrastructure which has to be constructed by contractors and by the contractors. And the contracting, lots of, and the big transmission lines and substations and distribution works, that are the main components of the energy program here. Then we also have supply contracts, supply of transformers, supply of vehicles and related equipment, which sometimes become part of the EPC contract, but usually, we break the contract into smaller components so that we encourage some of one firms to also compete. These are the future projects for the next 4 years, which would be bidded out on our website. The estimated cost is about 1 billion. Some transmission lines, some key substations, distribution networks, mini hydros, and gas, and sugar them. I will be pleased to discuss, I'm on table 35, pleased to discuss the timelines and what government. Then on the highway sector, this map depicts what we have already done and what is coming up in the next 4 to 5 years. As you can see, we have completed major part of the ring road in the top, and then there's some national roads, some key connections with major cities. These are some of the contracts which will be coming up in the next 6 to 8 years. We have still about close to $1 billion which is unallocated, that has been approved but unallocated for the roads. And ADB goes by the priorities of the government, so whatever the government decides, that whatever are the priority projects, we obviously undertake the technical analysis and the economic social analysis, but we are driven by the priorities of the government. And as of today, we have been provided this list of potential projects which will be funded in the next 6 to 8 years, but we still have about $600 to $700 million unallocated, which we will be discussing with the government on the future programming. The final sector is natural resource management. These are some of the ongoing projects, mainly rehabilitation of irrigation structures in the upstream, some agri-business development projects, rural development projects. The upcoming opportunities, close to $350 million in the next 5 years. It includes physical rehabilitation of the infrastructure, some consulting support, primarily for flood management, water resource management. Main work is it's spread all across north and south. These are some of the upcoming projects in the next 4 to 5 years, which have been finalized by the government, and ADB is currently undertaking the due diligence and technical and economic analysis. ADB is not affected by the transition. So, in fact, our current projects, they go well beyond transition. We have 3 multi-tranche financing facilities currently being implemented, and all of these facilities would be completed by 2018, 2019, and then we have planned subsequent financing facilities. Recently, under the ADF allocation replenishment, ADF 11 replenishment, ADB has approved another $1 billion grant assistance for the government of Afghanistan, which would run through till 2018. So our projects are not affected by transition, and we run well beyond 2014. In addition, ADB also approved an Afghanistan Infrastructure Trust Fund, which pools donor resources to implement major infrastructure projects. And we hope that close to about 100 to $150 million per year would be sourced through the AITF, the Infrastructure Trust Fund. In total, from ADB resources, from AITF, and from the existing projects which are still to be allocated, it's close to $400 million per year of fresh funding which will be approved through 2018. And the focus would still remain on infrastructure, energy, transport, and natural resource management sectors. I can talk more, on one-to-one basis with contractors and consultants, but this is how you can access the business opportunities on ADB's website, and the steps are enumerated here. So you need to click the business opportunities section, and then you have consultant recruitment notices as well as procurement notices. Procurement is for contractors, consultant is for consultancy services. At this point in time, there are a number of projects which have been solicited and up for bidding. Of close to $3 billion which ADB has provided to date, about 5 to 7% is for private sector financing. Our key interventions in the private sector have been in the Roshan Telecom, then in Afghanistan Infrastructure Bank, Afghanistan International Bank, AIB. We are working with a few aviation companies and some deals with in the oil and gas sector. So close to $205 million have been provided for the private sector financing in terms of equity at ADB stakes never more than 25%. So our role is basically to encourage the other banks and institutions to finance the transaction. These are the instruments for the private sector financing. Some lessons, obviously, as Excellency Pashtun Sahab indicated, the country is still in conflict, so implementation remains a challenge. On an average, our 3-year project gets completed in about 5 to 6 years. So it's almost 100% more time is taken for the implementation of projects. The cost is high, security premium is high, but even then, the projects are getting implemented. And the approach which ADB has taken, that we go for bigger contracts and projects, bigger contracts and few packages and lots, so that big contractors can take the jobs, and then eventually those big contractors can sublet some of the and slice the projects into smaller pieces for